ahead and go into the match. Here comes the plane, and it is game start here for match number 4 as we switch over to Erangel. And you know what? I like this flight path. Look how much is in play. Look how far north we have teams going. This is a good way to start it off.
It is, but Erangel has been wild this event, so I am not saying anything until we see the first circle. As far as we know, it could be a Zarky. We haven't seen that in a while. I don't think we've seen a North Stalber yet either.
Maybe Everest. You know, we had an Everest circle quite yet this map. I know we've kind of touched it a little bit early on, but as the teams start to land and get ready for that first circle pop, again, you know, look at this. We've got a couple of people bunched up. No real threats is...
Oh, yes! Oh. Again, every single time. This is our third military potential... This is like our third or fourth potential military island.
It's got to go ferry, right?
Surely this is like our first split. I don't... At some point, it does have to go north. I don't actually know exactly how every single Erangel map like this has turned out, but this is an insane amount of split circle ones. It's an insane amount of even potential military base finishes, and Exodus are loving it.
Oh,
they have been relying on placement points, and well, we're going, okay, guys, all right, calm down, calm
I think they're loving it a little bit too much there. Oh, but you're right. I mean, Exodus has been dropping into Sosnovka Island. They've been going to military complex. This has been every little bit of home for them on military. And with that circle popping immediately south, not wasting any moments as they try to pick up every vehicle and get back into the zone. And again, time again, we need to see them step it up on performance. They are falling lower and lower down the leaderboard, losing that ability to come back in the clutch, as 303 has also found some home here on Military Island. Landoon, up ahead of the rest of her squad, has not found a helmet just yet, but there's still time to loot. But again, with a circle like this, you've got to wonder how quickly all these teams are going to start making those rotations, set up those bridge camps, try to catch the next ones off guard.
Yeah, 303 making the smart, immediate, reactive decision to come down onto military base early. They usually have looted around Milta City itself, which is, as you all know, really, really close to this particular area. They immediately set up shop. I don't know if they're going to stay around here. We've seen a couple of teams early to the island push towards Radio Tower. I think I already see Lush going that direction, maybe for loot. This is a split circle. It's not officially military island just yet. As far as we know, it could go all the way back north. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to just kind of spread out a little bit and, you know, play their chances for whichever way it might go.
Yeah, and I mean, now we kind of take another look here on Comets as well, right? This is a team who's choosing to stay on main island, but they're trying to stay as far south as they can. There's still a possibility that this circle could go ferry pier, maybe touch just the edge of Primorsk, but nope. Or maybe we're crossing. Like to see as we kind of take another look at the map. There's still plenty into play. Oh, it's getting crowded here. Hard shifts waiting for him.
Yeah, this actually won't be the first time that Comets and Hardships have crowded around this bridge momentarily, and I think the Comets, they've had a tendency to sort of camp this. They are going all the way across. Only 2 of them so far, though. The other 2 might stay back. They might be trying to control both sides of the bridge, which is a greedy play because the Hardships are continuing to arrive behind Maluk. I think a couple of shots actually pulled out at a couple of their members, but D-Treats, everyone from the Comets, they're able to make their way across. Maluk wasn't able to do some heavy damage just yet. And now the Hardships, they're going to be the ones controlling the north side of the West Bridge.
Yeah, and it's what you want to see, right? This, in my opinion, I think this is the best position to hold. 303 is just a bit too far east for me on Military Island. They're watching East Bridge, but the West Bridge, I think right now, given this circle stance, is going to be the safer bet for some of these teams. D-Treats right now with the boat, not quite sure what he's hoping to pull off, but again, keeping an eye on this western part of the zone. Ferry Pier still looking a little bit empty, and I think it'd be very beneficial for some of these teams to take that onto here, as D-Treats is going to cross. I mean, this is so open to Houston. If they just take a quick look across the river, they could take a shot here, but it looks like Sonics are now moving in to get a little bit close, and they're going to have to start their defense. You talked again about this is a great place to gatekeep. This is a good way to stop those rotations happening from these other squads, pick up some points, and as Sonics make a lot of noise coming in, Houston being very patient, waiting for this. Here comes Shrimzy. I don't know if he's quite yet ready to run into Chubba here. Oh, Chubba!
Chubba's waiting. He hears the bike. It's free. It's a free down. He gets tagged by the bike. So there was an opportunity for Shrimzy there, but unfortunately, the dive onto the lighthouse, it's not going to work out for him. However, this does give information to the Sonics. How they play off of it, that's the decision for them to make. Do they want to go aggressive onto this? Do they want to try and find some kills? Or do they want to play safe until the second phase starts? Remember, we still have no clue what side of the strait this circle is going to be on.
Yeah, and I mean, that is exactly it. Information gathering, not committing to one side of the island or the other fully yet to get caught off on that rotation. That's a good play from them, but as we wait for that phase to close, another look at Elusive, who tried to find some spot here on the southern part of the island. It looks like Wild Card tried to get in on this. Honey Badger pushed a bit too far, was knocked, but here comes Keenan now, pulling his US a bit closer. Not quite in res range yet, but enough to try to put the pressure onto Elusive and keep Honey Badger alive a bit longer. But Innate is going to find out Keenan. Beautiful headshot with that Car 98, and that's 2 players down for Wildcard now. As this 2-2 split has really faltered for them. Great push by Elusive now. As you can see, Fizzle rotating, looking to get those finishes. JL Day will find Honey Badger, but Fizzle trying to find Keenan and secure that kill, that knock. It's only phase 1, and it's a good play here from Elusive, who's been struggling so far this weekend near the bottom of the leaderboard.
That was just an ambitious attempt for a revive onto Honey Badger. He was arriving late. Honey Badger had 0 cover, was crawling out in the open. There was more than enough time for Elusive to get the revive in safety behind those rocks. So Sharpshot's trying to find something. I believe that's T-Sock up on the flank, but wasn't able to get a knock there. Maybe if they're able to finish that, that could lead into some better defense. Over here, though, Fabled driving up next to STK. They're able to 180 around and pull away from this. This is, of course, around Quarry. Just to the east of you. We don't see a lot of Quarry action in play. I think STK right now are just setting up shop, trying to watch for rotations coming in from the north.
Oh, and this is a good way to hold what's currently the northwestern part of the circle as we continue to wait to see whether or not it crosses the water, but back again, clueless. This is another team that we've really been wanting to see more out of. It looks like they have spotted out Radiance, are trying to work on the gatekeep, but this is a very open spot in shelter. We see oftentimes teams try to hold, prevent those rotations, but Radiance is not going to wait for it all, taking up that look towards Milta, and, you know, Radiance, I don't want to say that I'm fully disappointed in them, but I've questioned some of their decisions when they get to this point, and I think it's going to be really paramount to see where they touch down as to whether or not it's going to make or break them. They need a good match, and Los. Uh-oh. Oh. It's all right, buddy. Recover that. He's good, everyone. There we go. Radiance, however, continuing to push themselves into the zone. Milta has already been abandoned. As we get our next circle pop, let's take a look, see where it goes, Cameron. Oh.
Oh, God, it's another good one. It's another split. I'm pretty sure we know where this one is going. It would have to require a hardship shift towards the north for it to go back towards the main island. This is, I want to say, 80% a military island circle, and Exodus are loving it. Comets are loving it. 303 are absolutely loving it. Everyone else, they are in misery right now. How are Radiance going to get across? Zenith are already here, lying in wait. Again, like, I don't know, like the rats that they have been this entire game. Mystery crawling around trying to find an angle. He might find a free one onto McCoy, or even Waldo just ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, Mystery has really lived up to his name, mysteriously showing up in places, staying alive, being very quiet, and at the very last moment, poking his head out and finding those kills. This is what made Zenith so scary in the start, but they've just kind of lost it in the bit. So now as we take another look here, more teams rotating shots there from Clueless on to Dodge. I don't think he's going to quite land anything there as Monty kind of struggling to fall back behind, but again, we've got to go far west. We've got to cross, and I think boat is going to be the game here to play. You don't have very many opportunities. There's 2 bridges. You can swim or you can boat, but 4-man into 1 vehicle is tricky. We saw multiple times this weekend boat explosions taking out a whole team, so that is going to be a risk for them. They should be able to pull it off as, look, Mystery still at it. So close to Waldo, who is definitely none the wiser here. For Mystery, you
Peek
gotta
out.
take the shot.
Peek out.
Just take
Get
it.
the spray. He's waiting for him to get into the vehicle. Should be an easy one. He lands one tag. There it goes. A little slower on the full knock than I would have expected, but he was able to find one. The lone Radiance player that is lagging behind, and what do the rest of Radiance do? They can't stop to trade. They have to continue on that bridge and to make their way across. Looking at Illusion right now, they're following up where Dodge, I believe, had just left. And I think Dodge took that only boat in this area, so Illusion might be forced to go across that very, very same bridge. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the rest of Zenith, we're looking at Mystery, but Zenith are all still alive. If I'm not mistaken, the rest of Zenith are also on the other side of that bridge, lying in wait for the Radiance and now Illusion.
Ooh, I mean, all right, Mystery, kudos to that. Not only did he end up getting a car out of this as well, but he should be able to come back and rejoin his mates, help take out what's left of Radiance, and maybe stop the last of this rotation as see Mystery trying to keep up with the bridge, providing some extra cover. Now we take another look over here at Sonic's, another boat that has pushed down. But as we kind of take another glance even further on, it is Exodus, who's actually in a compound that we've seen them in a couple of times this weekend, trying to hold the zone, get a little bit prepared. In fact, this is looking very familiar. We've got Shoot to Kill up on the hill. We've seen this before again. We've had so much military action this weekend that you have to wonder, are these teams falling into habits, or are they thinking ahead now as Radiance caught out in the blue and by Zenith on this rotation? Oh, I think McCoy's got to be panicking just a bit. Not quite sure what's going on. Kickstart gets him down very low. It's phase 2. The blue isn't going to be terrible right now, but McCoy does need to stop and think about healing. As now Mystery here to join the party, waiting for what's left of Radiance. And another look at the zone.
Oh my god! Okay, so we know exactly where this is going to end, but it's not very fun. Only half of the circle is playable, and so there's going to be a lot, once again, just like those more games, it's going to be a lot of fighting for those limited spots. Mystery does get taken out by McCoy. Radiance are able to stay as 2 up, but this fight against Zenith, both of these teams want this to end as quickly as possible, because we basically know exactly where this is going to end. They want to be able to get an opportunity to get there first, and because of that, Zenith, they're pulling off. They dealt enough damage to Radiance. They're fine. They're going to drive forward, but what are Dodge going to do about it? They made their way across in a boat, but they might have Kickstart pinned down.
Yeah, Kickstart, Aleda coming in right now, very quiet. See them try not to make too much noise, but unbeknownst to them, here comes Dodge in waiting. Fina is going to find one. Kickstart getting a little bit close to Monty there. Can't find the knock just yet. Crop trying to get into it. Ooh, Monty. Freno, there we go. We'll get another knock. That's 2 players down for Zenith. And I think they got just a bit too comfortable with their push onto Radiance, and it's going to hurt them here as Dodge is doing a great job now of holding the east part of the zone. We're in phase 3. This is a good angle to be at. Like you said, so much water is into play. Ooh.
SDK, they were on the hill just south of where they are now, overlooking Exodus, but they've pushed up north, and now they're trying to overtake Hardshift's compound. This compound is in the circle. It's not in the center, but it's a spot in the circle, and beggars cannot be choosers, especially in a phase like this, in a zone like this, and they're rushing forward. Livid is going live in the kill feed, but it's all about this push right now. They're getting peppered down by Clueless across the water. That's not making things comfortable, but Civ, on such low life, he's able to make his way inside. I think all 4 members of SDK are ready for this full-on assault.
I mean, yeah, if you're Houston, you don't want to let people come in to push, especially a team like Shoot to Kill, who is not only out for blood, but I think has a strong positioning here. But Fabled might come to mess this up for Shoot to Kill. Luke 12 has gone a little bit wide, and now Luke 12 having to stop turning all this attention to Houston and now focus on Fabled, who stopped up onto the bridge. As we can see him right now trying to figure out, all right, what do? I can't help out my teammates. I've got to watch up here, make sure that they don't walk up in from behind us. So wait for what's left. There comes Evasion X. There comes Hella. Fabled now. It's actually going to pull away from this compound, hold the opposite edge. I think that distraction was enough to get Houston involved. Here comes the nades. Lobes primed, ready, and thrown. Is it going to be enough to do any damage? Finding Alo into the window. Alo's going to land some damage back there onto Lobes. This is going to be nade after nade here between both of these teams. Shoot to Kill. Wonder if Luke 12 has mollies in pocket like we saw there on Miramar. Right now, setting up, waiting for this fight here with Houston. We've got a few seconds left till the circle goes, and I think that's the information that these two squads are waiting for. Finally pulling away from the water. They don't have to move just yet, but now they're on the edge of the zone. It's kind of need to figure out, with this many players still alive, all on the edge, where they're going to go from here.
STK really want to finish hard shifts. Because hard shifts, you can see on the minimap, they do have Maluk out of the compound, sort of ready to help usher them in closer towards the center of the circle. STK, they need to fight through the hard shifts. Maluk is coming back to join them. They want to set this up as a true 4v4, or rather, a 4v3 right now, because Luke has yet to join up with STK. He was so distracted by Fable, but I like the rotation, the movement that Luke is employing right now. STK, they haven't moved forward, though. They're waiting for an opening that hard shifts are going to give them.
This is a smart play as well by Luke. He's been very mindful of Fabled's position through all of this, trying to rotate to get away from that, but he is going to get spot out by Greg Shot. Fabled immediately going for the finish. Meanwhile, Oath finds Zenith. They are out, but back again. I mean, edge of the zone. Here we go. Sonics, Livid, another two teams that have fight it out. Livid was able to get a wipe earlier, but now it is Mime, Profi, H-Win. We're kind of stuck into this. Livid with the high ground. Getting spot out is actually, whoa, Hella from afar. Evasion X getting some picks up onto here. It is so crowded. Beautiful shot there by Ditech with the arm.
He's going to go for another. Is he going to be able to spot out Profi? He's waiting for Profi to leave. We pull away from that because Clueless are getting absolutely lambasted by Fabled on the top of that hill. It's a big old fight for this Western Ridge. Patrick's trading back in kind. But I don't know if he's going to be able to revive Nitrogen because here comes Hella on the push behind the vehicle. Hella finds the angle and Fabled 5 kills, but they've lost 2 of their own members. Sonics, in the meantime, are eliminated by the hands of Livid.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked. Where was Fabled? Where was this Fabled all weekend long? Taking great advantage of that. Hella picking up a couple kills. 5 total right now for Fabled. They've got a nice position on the edge of the zone. They should have the angle here on Livid as Ditech takes a double back, making sure nobody walking in on him. You don't want to get caught from people in the buildings as the blue starts to close slower and slower. But now Livid realizing, all right, our next threat is Fabled. We can't push any far east until we know that it is clear from the spot. Ditech, though, is getting uncomfortably close to Fabled. Evasion X is up, so we've got 2 players here for Livid, 2 players here for Fabled, and Fabled with a crate, so hopefully not too distracted. Livid could take advantage of this, but here comes Evasion X. Ooh!
A bit lazy, a bit sloppy of a peek, and he's gonna go down. He didn't even have his gun ready, I don't think, and then, well, panic jump. That's an easy arc to expect, and now it's just Hella, 1 versus 4. Grenade thrown out, doesn't find anything, and now she's spotted by Ditech. He's trying to go for more. Already 8 kills for Livid. And that's going to be 9.
Soup finding her out. Fabled is gone. Shoot to kill also gone. We're down to 9 teams, 30 players left alive, and what you expect to see on a circle like this with so much water into play as all of these insane fights. We're only into phase 4, and yet so many players have fallen. As we wait just a few more seconds to see that next circle shift, we take another look back to the east, and it is crowded over here. I think people trying to avoid all the action and fighting we heard. Here comes the map, and oof, there we go. These teams are in a healthy position, but Radiance, look at them, pinned between 3 different squads here. Yeah. Oath is going to find out one player. It's Los. He is knocked and flushed out of the game. Oh, Radiance falling apart. What is happening here? One player's still up, and it is McCoy. But here comes Oath looking for that push. Relo finds him. And it's going to be Wolf, excuse me, with the Scar L. And that's it for Radiance. Down to 8 teams. But no break for them just yet, because here comes Dodge.
Here's the big elephant in the room. Oath certainly saw SDK get eliminated, and they've been neck and neck this entire time, but SDK going out so early, this is a big window of opportunity for Oath to get the lead, extend that lead before the final map. But as you mentioned, what are Dodge going to say about it? Pushing forward, Finn is spotted out, he takes a quick tag, and he is forced to fall back, and actually not behind cover, because Oath have the crossfire onto him.
Yeah, I mean, before the start of this match, Oath was ahead by 3 points. As you said, looking for every kill. Relo has found Finna, is going to get a couple of hits, can't quite quite secured that knock just yet, but Oath trying to keep Dodge from moving any farther into the zone. So we can start to see, looks like a couple players going wide. Reload continuing the pressure right now onto Monty with that Mini 14. But again, not getting tunnel vision onto this fight. We can see them continuing to check their backside, making sure nobody's walking up on this. That is good communication here from Oath, but Hardships, meanwhile, have managed to find a small little shack in home, but elusive waiting for them on the other side of the streets, along with Wildcard.
Hard shifts. They were able to defend against SDK with 0 full casualties. Their meds look quite low, at least judging by Maluk, but they were able to find a compound. It's a good start. Maluk's pushing forward, trying to find an opening and a small tag on the elusive player, but no knock. And they're trying to go aggressive because the circle is closing in and they're on the edge. So the chances of them still being in the circle at the next phase are very, very low. And every single thing that they can do to loosen the opposition towards the center, they're going to try and take it.
Yeah, and it'd be really, what can you do, especially with so much high ground into play here, as we take another look at Elusive, who is also kind of in that same situation, continuing. It looks like spot out, Pinta low. Pinta trying to set up the shot here, but Fizzle's going to find him one more time, one more shot. That's all it's going to take to get this knock. Wild card, really, not great. There you go, Fizzle with the knock and flush. 10 seconds to go until this phase closes, and all three squads, because it looks like Illusion also with player up top to the north, are going to have to think about crossing the street, getting up to the high ground, and we've got teams waiting for them here. The circle's going to be a little kind in that regard.
It's going to be kind of 3-0-3 especially, but what is Lush doing? Lush is full W keying onto Livid by himself. He can even get Kaden, he even gets a knock, and he's going to fall back. I was going to say before he gets too greedy, but I think that just that push alone by himself with his teammates holding down their previous position in that compound is already just brazen. How is he getting away with this?
I mean, especially, look, it is rotating back to his teammates in an open area, but all this noise that 303 is making is going to continue to attract the attention of Oath. Right now, Oath's been very quiet, very patient. We've seen this time and time again from them out of these types of circles, not overextending themselves to dodge, but making sure that they don't get surprised either. We can see Snakers continuing to check, making sure that they haven't gone wide, they haven't surprised them. I think they're aware of 303's position, but waiting for that right moment to rotate in is, oh, Houston.
It's unfortunate to see, but it's ultimately not surprising. That was going to be a hard push. There wasn't a lot of cover that you saw between them and Elusive. Elusive could just stay inside their compound. So a noble attempt, but the cards were certainly stacked against them. At least they picked up a good number of kills leading into that. Shouldn't be an awful game, in comparison. Oath, though, only 3 kills, but 4 up, and this is very much their game plan. They're not going to get the circle so easily this time compared to the previous game. But this low ground actually gives them the possibility to sneak up onto 303. I'm looking at where 303 are looking at the arrows on the minimap, and they are aware of Oath's presence. They certainly heard the vehicles. But look at Dodge. Dodge are also going to be start to pressure onto 303. They're going to have to fight off multiple teams at once, depending on the timing of the strike.
Yeah, and I mean, great call as well. Like you said, Dodge is also a good distraction for 303, and I think that Oath has been playing this. They've been continuing to monitor the position of 303. They're watching the edge of the zone. They're walking their way in slowly with the intent here, I think, to focus attack on 303, knowing that Dodge is going to lend a hand here. But here we go. Landoon, D-Rich, watching the south. As you said, they heard those vehicles. So we're getting a 2-2 split now from 303, who have to focus not only on Dodge, but onto Oath. Oath is going to take those first shots there as Landoon and D-Rich pull back to try and help out Lush, who's been found out by D-Tech and Soup. And immediately, 303's, I think, play is starting to fall apart, and that is the opening that Oath is going to need to get into the circle here. But Livid, still a wild card off to the west, as they actually did take out what was left of wild card. You can see Snakers continuing to take a look out there. They want to get as much information here for Oath as we wait for that next circle to close. And Cameron, what are you seeing?
Well, it's another hardship towards Livid. I thought they were going to be in a really bad spot, especially after losing Kaden to that brazen push by Lush, but they are going to get the circle. They have the high ground overlooking everyone. Everyone. You already saw them third, or rather fourth party the fight against 303. So 303,
yeah,
I appreciated
just picked up
the
a kill off
attempt for
Dodge
map
and
control,
was well,
but it
so
was way too wide.
Yeah, Livid, sometimes you get gifted the circle. I think had the circle gone anywhere else but there, they definitely would have been in a tight spot. Only being 2-man, this is going to be very helpful to them. But with all 3 teams here in this southeast corner, Oath, who's been playing the long game, trying to get pushed up onto 303, I think they're going to struggle just a bit here if they can't take it a little bit further from now.
Getting thin is a good start, finding the angle on Monty. What can Monty do? I want to see Monty pull out the bolt action. You know, he really favors that weapon, but they're fighting off Elusive at the same time, so it's a dinner party here, to say the least. Then it goes down. The nade, I don't think is going to finish him off, but it is going to be the shots from Vosik. Krupp also goes down to Elusive. It's just Monty right now. Spotted out, forced to prone, but 303 and Elusive are pushing in from all sides.
Oh, it is so crowded right here. Elusive, I think, helping aid in the destruction here of Dodge, but 303 not backing down just yet as we see D-Rich take the push. It looks like he has spotted out Fizzle, who's lied down prone. Elusive may not have been aware just how many people were this far south. They have been so focused on the hard shifts and what was going on to the north for a very long time, but Oath is going to use that opportunity now as a chance to take the high ground here from Livid. They know that this is really a thorn in their side that they have to take care of first before they can worry about the rest of the zone. But Soup is going to find out Snakers. Relo immediately returning that knock and flush as Oath now needs to try and focus on taking out what's left of Livid. Will they be able to get off that res, stay 4-man strong, pardon me, as it looks like Balefrost now trying to find out what's left of Dietac. Here comes Elusive around the corner, so everybody right now playing for this high ground as the circle's getting closer and closer.
I would have expected Livid to have a little more cover up there, even if there's no trees, at least using the ridge, but only 2 members left. I guess I shouldn't be so surprised that they were forced to play a little conservative. I'm looking on the minimap. Dietec is pushing towards Fizzle, and he is going to go down, unfortunately. Livid go out in 4th place, but Oath, once again, end game, top 3 at the very least, a little lower on kills, but 4 alive. This is exactly what they wanted, but I'm surprised that 303 were also able to make it out of that with 3 up, and now what can they do? Because Oath have the high ground. Undeniably, Oath have the best spot in this circle.
No, great read by Oath, taking that rotation early on. This is something that we've come to expect to them when they make it to those late rounds. Their IGLing is on key. Whoever is saying, hey, this is where the circle's going to go, this is where we need to be, they let off a fight when it's too early. They could have sat on 303 for a very long time, but instead chose to engage Livid. That was the smart play. You can see here now making it at the very least top 3 for this match, but 303 Esports with 6 kills. It's not going to make this easy for them right now. D-Rich continuing to look for Fizzle, who's the last player left for Elusive, with 8 players left alive. We're just coming to the end of Phase 8. It's going to be the center of this current circle. That little dot is where these teams are going to want to move from here, as we can see Oath starting to push off from the edge. They know that this engagement with 303 is going to be the last fight that will matter. Everybody aware of Elusive, but 303, I think, is their focus here. Oh, Wolf.
Wolf is the key to Oath control right now, because the thing that they lack on the high ground is ability to leave it and go towards the center. And so Oath needs to hold position on that side angle to allow them access without 303 spraying them down. He was spotted, but he wasn't taken out. And they've instead pushed towards the north. They're getting close towards the last member of Elusive and Fizzle at the shack, and they absolutely know that someone's in there. It's obvious, even though that nade didn't just pop out of nowhere. Spit it out like those what are those little baseball machines that you practice with or you have for your dog.
And Snakers looks like his new job right now is to take care of Fizzle, trying to identify him. He's only got 1 smoke grenade left. Nothing else he could really throw in the shack to do some damage. So he's going to have to wait for the blue zone to get that push here for Elusive as the circle starts to close. 2.5 minutes until it gets to the center. Oath, meanwhile, trying to take that position here onto 303 as we see continue to push out. Smokes are out. Landun and Voxic pushed onto just the edge of the zone, but as Fizzle takes his focus onto Oath, it's going to be Landun that finds him a bit. Can't secure that much damage. The M4 is out. His vest is gone. On 303. Oh, there we go. No longer need to worry about Fizzle. It is just a two-team game, pardon me, through The Last of Us. 7 kills, though, for 303.
Bill Frost finds D-Ridge. That's actually a really, really good opening. Now 4 versus 2. I don't know if 303 can even get close to start the revive because Oath are pushing forward. They got the knock. They know the numbers are on their side, and they want this win.
Oh, Voxic goes down. Balefrost. This is a good back and forth exchange, but there can only be one winner, and it is Oath. 7 kills here on match number 4. And we show that patience persists time and time again.